Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 50. 50, the 5-0, the big 5-0. 5-0 of Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. So hyped about this episode because I'm no longer using a fan, so I'm not getting any of that weird warbling in the mic that you guys may have picked up on the past two episodes. I have my air conditioner running in the new room, so that's awesome. No need for a fan. So you guys may notice that that's not there now. If you noticed it in the past two episodes, I apologize for that. We're going to get it in, guys. Have some fun here in Defiance Bay in the Copperlane district. So cool. So fresh. We've got an actor and a merchant here. Hate to say it, but the legacy's been good for business. You've come to talk some sense into the fellow, I hope.
Sure.
Okay, so we want to find this group of bodyguards or something that a dwarf and Orland debate philosophy on the other side of the curtain. If I could find them, who brought in, or who we were looking for. They must be upstairs. Let's talk to the bartender, Bishop.
How do you do?
The man behind the bar is nearly the size of an Almua. A handle protrudes from his back, and his face is set in a stoic frown. He gives you a small nod. Here for a drink. There's a tiny pewter cup in front of him. He turns in one broad hand, but doesn't drink from it. You know anything about a March steel dagger? He raises his eyebrows. Haven't seen anything like that cross my bar, that's for sure. He thumps the smooth wood countertop. But I wouldn't wager against someone here having a blade like that. Check upstairs. I saw a group head that way not too long ago, carrying plenty of steel. Tell me about yourself. Name's Bishop. Used to be a scholar of Bareth. Now I run the Goose and Fox and keep the regulars in line. He shifts, and you see a warhammer strapped to his back. What is there more to tell? How'd you go from religion to taverns? The journey isn't as long as you'd think. It started with Hollowborn. And with this, he takes a black bottle from under the bar and fills the pewter cup. It was my sister's son. He takes a drink. At the beginning of Widewind's legacy, he was one of the first. I never expected there would be so many after him. Tragedy is part of the cycle, but it's followed by rebirth. Yet every year, more parents were grieving for their Hollowborn children, and the gods were silent. That's tough. He leans forward, crossing his arms on the bar. Bareth promises rebirth, cycles, but the only cycle I found was this one. He taps the bar. Have a drink, have another, and another, until I couldn't remember how I got home. Wake up, come back. I finally woke up one day to see my family had packed up and left. For all I know, they'd left days before and I just hadn't noticed, but they were gone, so I came here. Huh. I've cleaned up since then. Not that I found my answers. He tosses the cup back. I've just stopped asking questions. This is a lively place. It was founded in the early days of Deerwood and Independence by a traveling scholar named Errol of Levi. He wanted a place where kith of all backgrounds could gather and hash out the issues facing their new country. He rests his elbows on the polished wood of the bar. Didn't take long for the place to fill up. Brackenbury aristocrats argued with dock workers from the Gift, while soldiers wrangled with politicians. Deerwoodans have never been known to turn down an argument. Takes a sip from the tiny cup. I can imagine things got interesting. Soon, kith were coming from the farms and settlements, too. He waves at the door as if expecting a crowd to bustle in. This place got even more popular with the Valian sailors than the Salty Mast, and that was the problem. He drains his cup. No matter what people say about fair-mindedness and civil debate, there's only so much people will tolerate. Errol found himself on the wrong side of an argument with the wrong Thane, and when he disappeared a few days later, some said it was the work of that Thane. He shrugs, spreading his hands over the bar as he surveys the room. But Errol knew which way the wind was blowing. If you ask me, he skipped town. Hid out somewhere, hoping for rational minds to prevail in Defiance Bay. He cracks a wry grin. If only he could see it now. I'll order some refreshments. He's got some food we can pick up. Camping supplies. We can sell all this stuff. Do I sell the minor cloak of protection? I don't get much for it, but every little bit helps. I will probably go ahead and sell it. I should probably stash it. Just get 64. And if we pull from our stash, got another fine robe. Got a bunch of padded armor. Simple clothing, breastplate. Bunch of extra breastplates, bunch of extra padded armor. Extra fine robe. Extra leather armor, extra padded armor. Okay, that's nice. 960 we're up to. I'm selling that stuff. And honestly, I'm sure we could sell some of this at the same time. Fine hide armor. But I'm a little hesitant too. Robe. 1,000. Where's that hide armor? We have a fine hide armor, fine scale armor. Breastplate, sell a breastplate. Cape of withdrawal. Keep one of every helmet pretty much. Sell an Elder Lion Fang. I don't know what that's useful for. 5 lion hides. Oh, I probably should have kept the wolf hides and stuff, huh? I bet you that they go for something. The rare gems go for nice amounts, but Crafting materials, 1250. 1250, bong bong. Very nice. Let's see if he has anything. Oh, he just had food. We will get a room eventually.
I'm on the trail.
Let's head in here. Errol of Levy looks on enigmatically from the canvas. Or Errol of Levi. Levy. Roy Nguyen, we checked him. Let's head up. Keep it moving. Deadshot, Daedon, Hurdy, and Ilfa. Key and two-tone Weaxel. Scattered among such titles as Flora of the Living Lands, Unity and Disunity, A History of the Deadfire Archipelago, and treatises on the Colquhoun people are half a dozen travel journals held together with twine. Key. The Orlan woman nods at you, a cup of wine in her hand and a scepter across her lap.
Greetings.
An Orlan man relaxes with his feet propped on the table. Patches of dark brown skin peek out from under a full mane of blue-green hair. He and the Orlan woman with him exchange laughs and comments with the trio at a nearby table, and he spins a dagger in his hand. His hazel eyes watch you. You look like you've seen a night or two in the wilds, joining us for a drink. Who are all of you? The name's Two-Tone Weaxel. The lady next to me is Key. We've had our fun with the expeditions, but we were hoping to enjoy a little peace and quiet for the next few weeks anyway. A man at the next table nods at you. I'm Dreadshot Daedon. This is Hurdy and Ilfa. We were part of separate expedition teams, but we both suffered losses and decided to band together. He ticks several items off his fingers. Beasts, barbarians, biowax. It's a dangerous time to be an adventurer, but a prosperous one too. At the next table, Daedon raises his glass. And here's to many more prosperous journeys. So something else you wanted? Did you buy a March steel dagger from Igrin? He displays the blade on a flat palm. I did, and a fine piece it is. I don't know of any more circulating in the city. Outside the steel and the crucible keep, of course. How much to take it off your hands? Turns the blade in the light, admiring it. Seeing as how there's a sudden demand for this, 100 pawns seems fair. Demand isn't as high as you think. Chances are good that that dagger was stolen or looted off of one of the knights. In that case, no, let's say this one. You mean Igrin sold you March steel for less? I wonder why. He wanted to get rid of it so badly. Either that blade was stolen from the knights or it's a fake. He looks from the dagger to you and back again. Oh, fine. But I won't take less than I paid for it. He pounds the table with a fist. I knew 50 pounds sounded too good to be true. Deal. He hands you the dagger hilt first. Pleasure doing business with you. Got 324 experience. Is there something else you wanted? Leave. Something secret. And here's Ilfa. Ilfa nods at you, a pint in one hand and a mace slung over one shoulder. Daedon is busy filing a spur off of a small round bullet. A burly Almua raises a hand in greeting.
They'll never know I'm here.
Very cool. So we got the dagger for the little kid. Which is a horrible idea, but he wants to grow up to be a warrior, so might as well.
There. What did I tell you?
3 lockpicks. We can just stash them at this point, and fruit. We've got a whole little inn here. Oh, some peeps down here. Interesting. There are people everywhere.
This calls for a subtle touch. There. What did I tell you?
Oh, 19 golden dukes, a bloodstone, and scale armor. But let's come down here. Dash Oki. You see a grin slide across the face of a man and onto the face of a woman, younger still than he. She moves closer in the tallow light, sure and slow, tasting the anticipation on his tongue, the desire on hers. The candle gutters, sending yellow-brown light sneaking across his multifaceted eyes. She sits back, now all too aware of his luminescent horns and dust-stamped blue skin. His otherness leaves her breathless, but from fascination or horror you cannot tell. He reaches across a hand, trailing the line of her jaw, sibilant whispers snaking through the air, tempting, cajoling, trailing the line. Oh, something in her breaks, and his grin slides back as he extends his tongue to lick the curve of her throat, pausing a hair's breadth from her flesh. The thing we spoke of, your husband. I shouldn't, he'd be ruined. A faint protest. The man wags his forefinger at her, tisking playfully, tracing a line with the finger down the length of her torso, causing her to writhe. He stops it just short. She gasps. No fair, that's cheating, she pouts, childlike. Not if we make the rules. The man winks and he resumes his stroke. Dash Oki. Okay, then we have Bahor Archarya, main keep construction completed. Let's check out Bahor. You see a firm hand scribing notes from an ancient, surprisingly sturdy-looking tome, script precise, pictures small but clear. The monk runs his fingers across the paper lightly, page after page, searching for something. The script is ancient, almost illegible, but he perseveres, scrawling stacks and sheaves of notes, transcribing the book into something more comprehensible. Suddenly, he starts scribbling hastily, eyes wild, a pen a blur across the newly ink-splattered page. With a start, he pushes out from the desk and closes the tome, sending waves of dust to coast about the room, and grins widely. He hurries to the exit, notes piled under his arm, and a new adventure on his mind. And then Lexcanium Macreja, or Macrage. You see a man praying soundlessly on the ground, lips moving to some ancient and unknowable hymn. Lying in his hands, his sword sputters into blinding white light, banishing the darkness around him instantly to lurk in corners and shelves. He opens his eyes slowly, continuing his silent prayers. He adjusts to the new light, his face tight with concentration. He stands and begins to move deliberately towards an enormous iron door, strange symbols inscribed upon its rusted surface. His prayer gets louder, gains substance as he gets closer. Blue eyes burn with fervor as the glowing tip of the sword touches the center of the door and slides through. White light spreads across its surface, symbols flaring into life as the paladin chants. A gentle tone sounds, ringing through the ancient structure, and the door begins to open. The symbols have disappeared, along with the rust, and the paladin steps through into places unknown, bearing a light he is only now beginning to understand. Very
Keep
cool.
an eye out.
Oh, can Aloth
Yes.
maybe sneak around and get that? I don't think he can. I hate to leave that stuff, but I think we're leaving it, at least until
I'll take a peek.
we get better thieving skills. Okay, we come in here. The pages of these old books are crisp and fragrant with the salt of a sea breeze. The most unfortunate tale of Favia and Bernat, a Valian tragedy. Take it. Are we in here? No. Herod Raoul and Ishana Glynn. Old Valia, Southern Coast, circa 2670 AI. Herod Raoul. You see a man standing on a dock. Sailors, soldiers, and prostitutes swarm around him, but he's watching the ship disappearing over the horizon. He should be glad his men didn't take his life along with the ship, but failure is almost as bad as a death for a Valian. And the gods only know he hadn't fared any better in his family's mercantile business. It's almost a relief to see that last herald of his failure sail into the distance, sparing him the need to go back to his father and admit defeat once again. Besides, with sharp wits and an eye for opportunity, there's always a chance for a comeback. He pulls a flask from his hip and takes a long drink. There will be time for that later. He adjusts the flap of his eye patch and finds the tower of the brothel. He plots a new course for the evening, a grin on his face. Way to recover from a loss. And then we have Ishana Glynn, a woman. You see a group of people standing on a clear patch of earth, surrounded by several motionless bodies. On the ground in the middle of the group is a small figure curled up to protect itself from the kicking feet of the people standing around it. The woman is there, apart from the group, holding an enormous sword. She leans on it, using it almost like a crutch, hunched over and breathing heavily. She stares at the people and grunts, pulling herself upright and lifting the sword from the ground. She draws in a large breath, leans into a run, and quickly closes the distance between herself and the group. A blood-chilling howl suddenly explodes from her. The mob freezes mid-kick and stares at the terrifying bull of a woman now charging it. She jumps at the last second, bending slightly, turning herself into a projectile flying into the middle of the people assaulting the figure on the ground. Everyone topples as she flies into them. She hits the ground beyond them, rolling, leaping back up, and turns to face them. She plants both of her feet and lifts her sword, surveying the field. Suddenly, she spins on her heel, swinging her sword with savage grace, cutting down the nearest of the assailants. Letting herself get pulled into the momentum of the spin, she brings her sword around, blade sideways, into the head of a would-be opponent. The bottom of the hilt shatters his temple, and he crumples to the ground at her feet. She looks up, rage-filled eyes daring the remaining two men to approach. After a quick sideways glance at each other, they turn heel and run. One briefly looks back over his shoulder, ensuring she isn't following him. She slowly lets out the breath she'd been holding and walks over to help the figure, still huddled on the ground. Aww.
This calls for a subtle touch. Give me a real challenge.
Let's see what they have. 144 pawns and a hunting bow. Alon?
Yes?
Does anybody have the stealth? Not in this group. Wait, I have an idea. Okay, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. It's going down. Okay, let's quick save. This might not be a good idea. Got it. Before it filled up. That's what we'll have to do over here, too. Was it this room? This room. If only he had a speed boost, though. Oh, he only has to go here. Got it. I love it. Is there anything in here? No. Alright.
Laying low.
Nothing in the stuff up there. Alright, cool. So, oops. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My mic had been in a terrible place this whole time. What is that? This Stelgar's pelt is thick with dust and moths. Plaque below the beast reads Maiden Falls 2682. We've explored the fox and goose. And it's time to go give the kid his little dagger. Complete another quest. I had an idea lately, guys, to make videos longer so I can make potentially more progress in the games themselves, these epic games that normally, I mean, to finish this, I'd have to make like 300 parts, right? So it's like, I thought to make longer videos, but then I realized like it's not about the destination, it's just about the journey. So we're just going to keep it as is and enjoy. Gordy bounces up on the pavement. Did you get it? Did you have the dagger? Can I see it? I have the dagger right here. Gordy stops bouncing and stares at it, gaping in awe. It's so sharp. Give Gordy the dagger. Deals tossing the dagger. Don't kill yourself or anything. He snatches it out of the air, heedless of anything else. He yanks it out of its sheath and holds the blade up to the light. I'm going to be just like the Crucible Knights. He saws and chops at the air. 972 total experience. He flips the weapon into the air and grabs it at the hilt, almost slicing his palm open in the process. His eyes dart away from yours as he sheathes the dagger. So, about that secret. Gordy puts his hand up to his mouth and whispers loudly. I saw one of the actors hide something under a loose stone near the theater. Probably nothing as good as Mark's steel dagger, though. Thanks for telling me, Gordy. Bye. Something secret now complete.
I shall be
Oh, come up this way. Oh, I don't think we have. That door over here, skin flint. Let's talk to Skinflint. Oh. Essence of this man's soul. You see an older dwarf counting coins behind a grimy shop window, hair limp with grease and sweat, a sneer playing around the edges of his pinched mouth. The bargains of the day lie scattered across the table, from tarnished, tawdry jewelry to an acid-encrusted dagger, lying precariously near the edge. His half-nose twitches in anticipation as a customer enters, a disheveled young noble, once white doublet stained with a life gone wrong. Eyes dart behind him, searching for pursuit, before he dumps the contents of his Hessian bag on the table. His Hessian bag on the table. The dwarf leans forward, his fingers flicking through the silverware and assorted goblets. He shakes his head emphatically, sneer fully settled, shoving the items back at the man. The man pleads, begs, eyes rolling panicked in their sockets, asking for something, anything. A few silvers. The dwarf leers and tosses 3 copper pawns on the table. Desperate, the young noble tears a signet ring from his finger, to the dwarf's ill-concealed delight. A few more coins go into the pile, and the defeated man, swearing stitches under his breath, exits the shop. The venerable dwarf grins at his good fortune, picking food out of his 2 sharp teeth as he examines the haul. And here we have something. Could this be the sewers, maybe? I think it is. The tombstone icon indicates a memorial.
Nice and quiet.
A dead initiate. Viscous, foul-smelling sludge ebbs in the trench. As you approach the dead man, you can feel the faint traces of his soul lingering, a stunned uncertainty holding it in place. When you near, without warning, the soul hurries toward you as though you were a solitary light in the dark gloom of this place, come to usher it away. Its essence invades your consciousness. You're in a different body now, walking deeper into the catacombs, cloaked in a dark robe with a mask pulled over your face. You're following a familiar path along the canal, heading to a room built around a statue of a figure wearing a robe much like yours. Others await, clothed in hoods and shadows. Ahead is another figure dressed like you, traveling in the same direction. You don't know his name, and that's how it's supposed to be. Out of the darkness, something monstrous grabs the other figure. You turn to flee, but find yourself face to face with a troll. The panic pounding through your brain is interrupted by razor-edged teeth and claws. You snap yourself out of the dead man's memory. The corpse lies on the damp and grimy ground. His hood and mask are missing, but his clothes are shredded. Sagani draws up next to you. You all right? Looked almost like you lost your footing for a minute. Feels that way when I see into the ether. She watches you quietly. You really are a watcher, aren't you? Once in a great many generations, some of my people is born with the ability to speak to souls. Usually such individuals become elders, or a lone set of tracks in the snow. She cocks her head. I would have thought my journey would be easier if I could see what you see. But looking at you, I'm not so sure. Neither am I. Believe it or not, I once would have rejoiced to know I'd be picked to travel far in search of something great. But even these gifts come with a cost, don't they? Forgive me if I was a little skeptical of your abilities before. Can't say I've met a real watcher before. Oh, don't worry about him. He just likes doing that from time to time. Seems to cheer him up, so I just let him. Once you've seen it a few times, the shock wears off. Every time he goes a little strange in the face, I try and see if I can hear anything. Kana grins. It hasn't worked so far. See if you can get him to tell you what the spirit said.
I'll take a peek.
Might be a troll down here to slay. A door. Okay, we literally went from Defiance Bay to the Catacombs of Defiance Bay. Lesser black ooze. Oh boy, it oozes. Oh dang, a greater ooze.
I fear we've lost the angry one.
Wow, Durance went down quick. Let me stag mode. It's badly injured. Who's this? Me? Oh, let's black ooze.
Hey.
I dare try to knock it down. Sakani's ripping and tearing. Kana.
How may I help?
Allow off a little crushing damage, I guess.
That's all.
And everybody attack that one. We seem to be just fine. Crushing doesn't work too well against them. Oh, they're immune actually to crushing.
These are in for a
There we
walloping.
go. Lose plasma, which is useful
Laying
stuff.
low.
Sure.
Look at this, guys. Bound to find something cool in here. Memorials. Go ahead and read those. 343 copper pawns. Huh. Can't beat that. And a balloon. Rebellion. And the memorials, we'll go through these. Missing you MM, love you more, XXXOOO. The Swedish Chef, Warlock Wormblade. I hope they don't put anything too cliche on the gravestone. I think therefore you are, the Lurker. The rain in the astral plane falls mainly on the Elder Brain. Here lies Tom Rigney, an atheist, all dressed up and nowhere to go. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the White Knight is talking backwards, and the Red Queen's off with her head, remember what the dormouse said. Feed your head, feed your head. May you always be a seeker of truth, for ignorance is the greatest crime one can inflict upon themselves, and in doing so lets the lies and evils of the world go unchallenged. Empty. Once tormented, now eternal. Wait and hope. Eureka! Lost in the White March, I owe you one. I'm not really dead, I'm just pretending, says Vaysark. Working with the Lords of Justice to end the tyranny of the Harbingers of Death across the realms is still cheaper than Van Doon. Remember, Dirk cannot be cursed. We all have a debt to nature due. I've paid mine, and so must you. Ferodi. In memory of his wallet, may the pillars of eternity guide its contents to proper use. I have no idea what I'm doing. Awesome. Neither do I. Alright, so I guess we are still continuing to explore the catacombs. I forgot to do this. Get a different formation going. Maybe that's why Sagani has not been performing that great in the party thus far. So I'll go and attack that one. Oh, dang, we've got a troll here.
Yeah?
Let me turn around and smack at one.
Following your lead.
Durance is getting smacked up again. Attack the troll.
Get on!
Aye?
Ella. Okay, you guys turn around and attack the troll. There. I was going to try to knock it down. It's not getting a chance to attack. It still hurt Durance pretty good. Durance is going to hang in there though. Troll skin, ooze plasma. Ooze plasma. So we should rest at some point. We'll rest when we're dead. Memorials. Get to those in a second. Wow, more memorials. I want to try to cover all of them, so... Josh, let's see. Chuck. We're here to laugh at the odds and live our lives so well that death will tremble to take us. Amen. The ocean's bed. I walked upon the pavement till I observed a passing stone, a passing stone roll against the gutter as if to be alone. The stone had no specific color or hue that I could see to make it specially distinguished by its society. Perhaps it was not as rigid, a bit rounder than the rest, yet I could presume no reason to regard it any less. It It was neither sharp nor jaded, but rather smooth on top, so I quickly cupped my hand and drew the fellow up. He seemed to quake and quiver as he looked beneath the tree. I saw the others looking up with utmost enmity. Thus I hid him in my pocket and took him lands away, where others would not find him or curse him where he lay. I placed him by an inlet where the ocean came to play. She drifted out to greet him and offered him to stay. He agreed, as did the others, and rolled to the water's edge, where he tucked himself beneath her sheet and sank quietly to bed. Oh. In memory of my beloved brother, a man not made for this earth, but made for heaven. Amen. R.I.P. your brother, bro. Das einzig wahre Schnitzel. Fantasy is about strange creatures doing things that we cannot understand, lurking in exotic locations that do not exist. Alright. Well, too many bugs in here, let me out. Ancient warrior from a dark age rests here, but if the grave is empty, watch your back. If there is anything I have learned in my travels, it's that many things may change the nature of a man. Regret, love, revenge, or fear. Whatever you believe can change the nature of a man can. Some, Planescape Torment stuff. Unforgettable hero and adventurer. Good charisma of a poor constitution. Isn't that always the case? His last words were, "Here, hold my potion." Veiled by the night, shade among shadows, still enduring, yet to grow strong. There's nothing you can't handle when you use your mind. In memory of Yaska, the eternal watcher of the scrolls of lore, he came, he fought, he bled, and he survived. He wrote the lore and continued his journey without destination. Cool. Paladin of St. Widewind, she fought valorously in battle before being struck down by a poisoned arrow, killed in her prime. Natty Tane. Your all-knowing eyes shine like stars, giving me guidance. Your warm, gentle smile gives strength to my soul. Your undying love gives wings to my triumph. My love to you gives me the courage to conquer all odds. Every day, everybody spells my name wrong. G.L. Carpenter. Right, because normally you spell Carpenter with an E instead of an I, but there you go. I guess this is the memorial resting spot. Let's go ahead and see what we've got here.
And what do we have here?
Trap. Trap disarmed. Oh, we've got 2 of Elyune. Scroll of prayer against restraint. And 8 bracers of spiritual power. Gloves, gauntlets, and bracers offer a variety of benefits. While some grant protection in combat, many have magical properties that empower the wearer in other ways. Plus 10% spell damage, no kidding. We can give that to Allah. Just let him wear those. Bong bong, 10% spell damage. Can't beat that. Let's read some more memorials. Can we read these? Sometimes endings are really just the beginning of something new, something more amazing. Indeed. Be kind to animals, don't eat them. Mashallah. Corgis are great. Indeed. My class is Rogue. You look surprised to see me. If you've been paying attention, you might still be alive. Keep your mouth shut. They might think you're a total idiot, but they can never prove it as long as you keep your mouth shut. Indeed. Hope this brings you tons of joy and happiness. I wish the best for you and all your kin. Awesome. Auntie, he's the best around. Nothing's ever going to keep him down. Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear. Nuclear. Okay, something in Latin or something. Alexander G.V. Don't panic. He did not believe in miracles. He relied on them. Very cool. While soldiers meet and hope for strife and focus splits twixt hill and plain, danger itself begins to prey. Hope remains whilst prayer lives. One perfect moment is all to stop eternity. Very poetic. There's a death in the clouds. There is fear in the night. For the dead in their shrouds, hail the sins turning flight, and chant wild in the woods as they dance round a Yule altar, fungus and wine and white. Oh, that's very cool. John the Detective. Service in all things to the Republic of the Silver Sun. Kaladin. We are all adventurers in the great landscape of life. Be aware of those around you, but never stop exploring what life has to offer. Never give up on your own happiness and never lose hope. Oh, nice words by Jared Ritter. Reign in chaos. RIC. Well, let's keep it moving here. Looks like some free loot everywhere, plus some cool memorials. Can't beat that. 441 pawns. Can't beat that either. Or 3 lockpicks. Essentially stash fodder, though, for the moment. Let's come down and read another memorials. H.G. Wells, I told you so, you damned fools. A man out of time, the flame flickers yet remains, the next trail awaits. Thank you for keeping the spirit of Western RPGs alive. Indeed, my thoughts as well. Never before was a paladin so foolish who could not tell the good from the ghoulish. May betrayal and blood follow him for eternity. Doran the Demon. Always the sharp sword. If you're reading this, I spent too much on Kickstarter, Andrew C. Where shall I find you, you my grotesque fellows that I seek everywhere to make up my band? Angelica, level 1 through 5. I wonder what this switch is for. Matthias, level 1 to 1. Come on, it's just a skeleton. Martin, level 1 to max. I'm invincible. Peter, level 1 to 3. This orc looks nice. Let's talk to him. Journey through famous gates of coastal lands, braving icy mountains at the end of the world, amid the many dimensions of the multiverse, to search of my inner self. Fortunately, an endless journey indeed. Mashallah. A slave frees himself from his chains only to find he is bound by a stronger set of chains. If you are reading this, then I am gone. I have fought many dragons and visited the deepest dungeons. Alas, my wife appears to have found out how much I spent on this memorial. Have a beer for me. Here lies T.E. the overspender. He gave of himself so that the world might live. Valiant. Forever at home, at ease with family. Very cool. Old, not wise, just worried. Eric Fate. Ventured forth before gathering his party. Eric Parsons. Empty. With the passage of time, even the most vivid memories fade. Whether that's a blessing or a curse, well, that depends on the memory. Indeed. So let's continue here. Oh, another goodie. Sarcophagus.
Isn't this something?
That we can just unlock and fine mail armor. We'll see if someone can maybe use that. Give it to Connor for now. Lots of goodies there. There's some goodies down here. Let's see how long we've been playing. 42 minutes, so it's time to wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. That'll let me know that you did enjoy it. Also, if you want to become a member on my channel, feel free. The info is in the description of this video, along with links to my Patreon and stuff like that. We've got more oozes. Let me get what's in here, though. 2 turquoise. And we'll end with a little fight here. And do hope you'll join me next time, guys, if we're going to have a lot more fun with this game. It's by no means over yet, so stay tuned. And, yeah, I'll see you guys then. Until next time, be well, live well, stay well. Much love, peace, and joy, and thanks so much for watching 50 episodes. Let me know if how many you've watched out of the 50 in the comments section. And I will see you guys when I see y'all. Much more Pillars of Eternity to come, though, so definitely stay tuned for that. All right, now. Ciao for now.